On our second day in Katmai National Park, we decided to do the tour of the Valley of 10,000 Smokes, which is a little side quest I highly recommend doing. Alright, today is our first full day in Katmai National Park, and we are going to the Valley of 10,000 Smokes. We chose today because we were trying to plan for a better weather day, but when you try to plan that out like a week in advance, we found out it doesn't really work. Today is windy. It's supposed to be pretty stormy, and everyone around here says you can't plan out more than 6 hours for the weather because it changes that much. So hopefully we don't get drenched, and I'm really hoping on the drive in that we can see some lynx. They saw a moose yesterday and a lynx and a porcupine, so if we can get one of those, that would be really exciting. So you can hear the planes, they are still flying, but they did cancel all the ferries for today. So if you're trying to decide between taking the ferry or the planes are going to be the most reliable. The ferries get canceled pretty often around here. And pricing wise, they're about the same. I don't know, I would probably take the plane if I was you.
Oh, it is a smaller one. So this is why we left early, because the bus leaves right at 9. So we left around 8:30 from the campground, because after what we experienced last night, you can get stuck with bears and there's no other paths around them. So make sure to give yourself a lot of extra time to get to the bus, because it's on the other side of the property line. So you got a bunch of birds going crazy. There's a couple of eagles that keep coming up. Yeah, there they are. Wow. There's a third one over there. These two are kind of going at it. Can't tell if they're upset with each other or just playing. You can definitely tell it's windy though, because the birds are even struggling to soar. Oh, they're entangled, Brian. All empty today. Not seeing any bears over there. They'll probably come out later. Or, you know, the storm changes patterns as well. There's other places to fish that are less windy, more comfortable for them. It's definitely windy today. Usually expected a little winter today, so, you know, Brian's holding onto his hat. Doing a good job! Just a wee bit stormy today. Park ranger is saying we'll probably deal with this the rest of the trip, and this is the normal Katmai, which is what I figured. Yesterday was kind of abnormally nice and hot, and we didn't pack for that, so I'm kind of okay with this.
Behind in the visitor center that will be open the entire time we're out there. I'm also doing a grouse study on the road, so that means for any animal sightings that you see on the road, just yell out, "Kaylin, there's a grouse." It's like a chicken almost. Kaylin, there's we do have the snowshoe hare, but for the sake of the tour, we don't say hare. We say, because it sounds like bear, we'll just say bunny or rabbit. Kaylin, there's a rabbit, or Kaylin, there's a bunny. Sasquatch, whatever we see, just call it out.
smells extra fresh today because of the rain. So you can always count your blessings no matter the weather because it smells so amazing right now. So fresh. Don't step on that. So the rangers are a wealth of knowledge. I always recommend this in every park we go to. Always talk to them, always ask questions because you learn so many things. So he was just telling us that there are 18 volcanoes within the park boundary. There are 14 that are still active within this area, which is wild. And it's actually the most out of any park within the US. So that's incredible. We're in a really special area and you can't see as much detail. We'll be showing you a little bit more in person because we're gonna do the 3.5 mile optional hike, and then there's also another mile round trip to the Confluence, which is where two rivers kind of coincide. So we're gonna do all of that and show you that. I'm excited to see it up close. But first, we're gonna do lunch.
No macro. That's what I needed for this today.
All right, so we are about to do 4.5 miles of hiking. There's about a 3.5 mile stretch that you do with the ranger, and then there's a half mile each way to do the Confluence area where the rivers adjoin. And we are looking out. It's slightly windy, but it's not dumping rain, so we're excited about that. But I am still wearing rain pants, which I recommend. Pack everything for this because you're out here. And also there's no heat in the building, so be prepared for that. Make sure to dress warm. Bring gloves. Didn't bring gloves. That's the one thing I forgot.
I've been there looking like that.
Been there a little while. Ooh. Yeah, so he was telling us
sand. Like I feel like it just looks like sand.
So this is ash, and then they said a bacterial formation started on top of it, and then that led to the lichen, but it's still recovering. So try not to walk on things like this.
Step on it, then it takes.
So we decided to do the Confluence first, since our group is a little faster than the rest of the group that's following the rangers. So we're doing it opposite of them. They're going to the falls, we're going to the Confluence first. And one thing we've been talking about a lot on this trail is how the flora is incredibly similar to Washington. So I've noticed even some of the different species of plants are almost exactly the same as what we have. So it's kind of cool to see that. A little piece of home, even though this is perma.
So right now it's super pretty on here too because the fireweed is going crazy and it's very lush. There's a lot of plants in this portion as well. But once we get down to where the flow from the volcano happened, it's pretty much dead down there. So it'll be very interesting to see. What's really hard with the video is to share the scale of this whole place because I've seen other videos and you just can't tell just how large of a flow this whole thing was. But when you're here in person, it is so impressive because it's massive. It seems like it's miles wide and it just goes a long ways back to the mountains. So I highly recommend coming and checking this out in person.
Wow, that is really cool.
Look at all the fireweed in the mountains. They're so purple right now, it's crazy. It's just walls of sediment, which is crazy. There was a sign back at the visitor center that said right up near the mountain, it's 700 feet deep of ash.
So we just ran into a couple of overnight backpackers out here, and one of them's a ranger, and so I asked her to show us on the map when we get back to the visitor center what area they did, because maybe that's a future trip. Maybe. So remember that rock I picked up at the lake? Yeah, came from this. Super lightweight and porous. So it's really hard to imagine standing in this area now. When it first exploded, it was 1200 degrees, which is crazy. No wonder it's, honestly, everything is desolate, because nothing can survive that.
It's so hard to describe. It's very unique, and video does not do it justice. And these walls are massive. And it's all ash.
Got all sorts of fun mushrooms. So you want to go straight across here from the trail. Do not want to get lost. Ranger made sure to stop and tell us that. I think we would have figured that out, but it's good to know for our viewers in case any of you are less experienced on hikes.
Look how tall these walls are. And you got this river, or this waterfall. Did a pretty good job. It's a lot of water. This right here is a waterfall.
Oh yeah, right in here. Blink and you'll miss it. Blink and you'll miss it.
It's massive. It is massive. You gotta be safe. Right here. Now this is crazy. It's got lots of whirlpool. So look at the structure. Holy cow. This is crazy.
Really cool.
Look at that water ripping through there. Look at all these little cutouts too. It's amazing.
Covered.
Related to the nitrogen in the exuding out of the whatever, the alder.
So these are all fossils. They're all clams and mussels from the Jurassic period. That is so freaking cool. And she was saying that when she does a tour, she'll have people throw a rock here to show that this is only 1/100th of the way to becoming solid. So rhyolite takes 100 years to become solid rock. So right now, this is all, like you'll see this little section right here, the white. That's all from like rainfall. So it's like started to affect the structure, and then it dries because it doesn't rain all the time here. And then she also said this is part of a fumarole. That whole shelving section. So cool. There's just so much history down here.
All right, Valley of 10,000 Smokes is complete. Took us about 2.5 hours to do both sections of the hike and have some time at both sections to kind of explore, play around. We typically hike pretty quick, so if you're a little slower, give yourself a little bit more time. They gave about 3.5 hours total to do the hike, but you can always start early if you cut your lunch a little short, and that gives you a little bit more time as well. The valley is stunning right now too. It's very moody back there. Got lots of fog and clouds. It's very neat. Now, on the way back, there is no stops on the bus. We just go straight there. And then we will be back looking for bears again.
Get in the bus until you're told you are allowed to. Alright, so we just made it back from Valley of 10,000 Smokes. Incredible day. But one major thing that we learned is our weather was way better over there, which I wasn't expecting because it's closer to the coast. So I was very surprised by that. But the winds are way higher over here. They've had a lot more rain than we've gotten. And, which we knew in advance because of the weather report that was posted here, the water taxi was canceled for today. So there's less people here. So
Very quiet.
it's very quiet. So we literally hit Valley of 10,000 Smokes perfectly, which I'm really stoked about. I was not expecting that. And we did genuinely have great weather the whole day. There was a little drizzle, but it was super manageable.
There's also some bird noises that I don't know what kind of birds they are, but they're very interesting.
We keep learning new things. Again, we talked to the park rangers like crazy and asked them a ton of questions in a fun way, not a harassing way. And we found out that there are a couple of porcupine that live on the property. So
We're now hunting for porcupine.
there's one named Pablo and there's one named Peter, right?
I think so.
I think it was Pablo and Peter. So now we're looking for porcupine because I didn't even know that they climb trees. So now we're looking in like all the trees because sometimes you can see them.
Alright, so as you can hear, it is still raining. So we've kind of just got back from Valley of 10,000 Smokes, cleaned up, got a little shower over by the office, had dinner, and now we're just kind of chilling, taking it easy tonight because the storm is supposed to continue through the rest of today and tomorrow morning, and then hopefully midday tomorrow things will start clearing up. So we'll see what the morning looks like, but tomorrow afternoon for sure we will be out looking for bears.